The clock struck 11 p.m. as Hannah sat alone in her small apartment in Khalifa City, grading papers by the dim glow of a desk lamp. She usually found comfort in the quiet, but tonight felt different. Too quiet. The wind howled faintly outside, and the soft hum of the air conditioner seemed distant, almost muted. Suddenly, she heard a soft creak from the hallway, followed by a faint tap, 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 as though someone was lightly knocking on the wall. She froze, heart pounding. Her rational mind dismissed it as the settling of the building, but an uneasy feeling crept into her chest. She glanced at the hallway, half expecting to see something move, but nothing was there. She shook her head and returned to the papers. Moments later, she noticed something strange. Her reflection in the window didn't match her movements. It seemed delayed, as though a second version of her was watching from the other side. She blinked, and the reflection returned to normal. A chill ran down her spine. Deciding she needed a break, Hannah stood up and walked to the kitchen for a glass of water. The dim overhead light flickered as she filled her glass. When she turned around, she noticed something in her peripheral vision, a shadow standing at the end of the hallway. It wasn't the trick of the light. It was tall and motionless, darker than the shadows around it. Her breath hitched. She forced herself to stay calm, reminding herself that fear could make her see things. She flicked the hallway light on, but the bulb popped, leaving her in darkness. The shadow was gone. Trembling, she backed into the living room and grabbed her phone. No signal. Suddenly, there was a loud knock at the door. "Who's there?" she called out, trying to keep her voice steady. No answer. The knock came again, louder this time. She approached the door cautiously and peered through the peephole. Nobody was there. A cold draft swept through the room, and she turned to see the window wide open. Panic set in. She was sure she had locked it earlier. She rushed to close it. But just as her hands touched the frame, a voice whispered behind her, "You're not alone." Hannah spun around, heart racing. The room was empty. She tried to steady her breathing when suddenly, her phone vibrated. A message popped up from an unknown number. "We're watching you." Her mind raced. Who was we? She grabbed her keys and bolted toward the door, but before she could unlock it, she heard footsteps behind her. Slow, deliberate steps, getting closer. She didn't dare turn around. Hands shaking, she fumbled with the lock, finally managing to open the door and rush into the hallway. She didn't stop running until she reached the stairwell, too afraid to take the elevator. When she finally burst out of the building and into the cold night air, she looked back up at her apartment window. The lights were off, but she saw it. Her reflection standing there, waving at her. The next morning, the police found no evidence of forced entry, no signs of anyone else in the apartment. But Hannah knew the truth. Something had been there with her that night. Something that hadn't left. And she never spent another night alone again.